I'm Akademiks.
Suspect, as well as some new stills. Those have already been released, but we want to make sure that they get as much attention as possible so that we can get help from the public in tracking down this evil human being. So we're going to cue up the video right now. Show that. I've asked Commissioner Bo Mason if he would narrate to you what is happening in this video.
All right. So let me just start first and foremost. If you don't know, Charlie Kirk is a political commentator, one that leans, I believe, on the Republican side. He's a pro-Israel guy. He's, white, clearly, as you can see by the picture. That's him pictured right there. And, he's gained a lot of support, but also a lot of enemies because of his opinion and also his ideology that he spreads by these debates, public speaking events, and he's actually been given the credit for helping to empower a lot of the young people who ended up voting for Trump. So a lot of people love him. A lot of people hate him. While doing an event called Turning Point USA, I believe. It was an outdoor speaking event at a university in Salt Lake City. Someone shot him seemingly with a scoped rifle, and the bullet went through his neck. It was all captured on many different cameras, and he died. It's gotten a lot of people in shock because, number one, when have we seen a live execution? But number two, this is also coming off the heels of President Trump, an attack or an alleged assassination attempt on his life. I know some of y'all might be saying, but why do we care? Well, I think some people care that because we're in a time where politics seems to be evoking general and serious emotions from other people. Again, I've heard some of these things I say. Sometimes I sound like a broken record. I come from a country where they used to accuse politicians of giving out guns. Like, politics is a blood game. Like, because the difference in one party winning and the other party winning means, in other countries, your livelihood is fucked up. My uncle got, one of my uncle got slapped. Was it slapped or he just beat up? He was drunk and he was talking politics. In certain countries, like, that shit is not a joke. That's not in the United States. I think he got beat up, and my other uncle went up there and beat a nigga up, whatever. In this country, at least for me, I don't think for everybody, if you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, I'm pretty much going to be cool with you. It doesn't matter that much. I do know some people who they hate anybody Republican. I think the atmosphere where people's political ideologies have gotten people to think that guy should die. Also, I think Trump probably helped motivate some of people thinking things like that, because I've never seen a time where people call politicians, political commentators, or people who talk about politics in general, they talk about them and use terms like Hitler. That guy is this. And when you start using terms like this, you basically almost smoke signal that this person is so bad that they should get executed. So I think that's one of the reasons why this topic is a big topic. Everybody's kind of tuning in. Obviously, we all seen it on camera. But I know some of y'all might be like, well, niggas die every day, B. But because it seems that now when people have political disagreements, they're trying to assassinate or execute people. It's made a lot of people on edge. You have some people who are saying, well, look at what he said in the past. And then you have a lot of people who are saying, this guy was a family man who was like 31 years of age or 33. I can't remember what age. He had 2 kids. He had a wife. And despite what he said, he should never be murdered for that. The person who killed him was a person who was on the roof of the place because he was in an open area, and they shot him with a bolt-action rifle. I knew it was a bolt action automatically because if it was an automatic weapon, unless he was really trained, if it was an automatic weapon, he would have fired twice. But he clearly put a bullet in the chamber with the bolt action and fucking shot him. He didn't shoot twice, shot once. Won't say he's a marksman, but he's probably pretty good enough because the bullet went right through his throat. Everybody's talking about it, but I guess the FBI, who's now involved, they're giving an update, and that's where we are now. So let's listen.
Thank you, Governor. Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video, and I'll narrate as we walk through that. So here you see the suspect ran behind that upper
Right here?
upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly...
Wow. I'm scared of heights. I would not jump. But this guy, he was out.
identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that. It's important to note his black T-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for.
It's interesting because the majority of people is on the other side of the building. That's where the shooting happened. So he shot that way, then he ran across and then jumped on the backside where the parking lot is conveniently.
The stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive T-shirt with an American flag.
I don't know if he brought the gun or not. He might have left the gun up there.
And appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right.
Wow.
After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence.
Oh, so he did bring the firearm.
Good. You want to go to...
I don't see the firearm. I mean, it got to be a long rifle, but like, did he throw it off the thing? Did he have it in his hand? Did he put it somewhere in his clothes? Did he have a backpack with it? How did he get off of this shit with a rifle?
We are going to go to that press conference.
We through that. So here you see the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that. It's important to note his black T-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive T-shirt with an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to...
Somebody in the chat said, how are roofs like this non-secure? It's a college campus. Let me tell you this. If you've ever been to a college, you get to realize you could kind of go about everywhere. You find little tricks or whatever to like even... Sometimes, you know what we used to do at my college? We just fucking... Especially if you have your card or it's like a building that you're not even supposed to be in because your card don't work for it. You just have somebody just fucking leave something in the door, like, right? Yeah, so there's mad ways people could access not only a college campus, but definitely acts in certain areas that maybe they shouldn't be. You get what I'm saying? Now, here's the difference between him and like Trump. Trump's going to have a team that's going to go out a week before when he's going to have public engagements or public speaking, and they're going to scout it out. They're going to look at all. That's what they should do. They have counter surveillance and all that type of stuff. And that happens to Trump. This guy, Charlie Kirk, I seen him. By the way, I'm not showing you any gruesome videos. I'm not showing the video of him getting shot. Go find it on your own if you want. I'm not showing the video of his body or really of him being carried to the car to be rushed to the hospital. Out of respect for his family, I won't. And actually, I don't post that stuff anyway. But here's the thing. I don't even know if those, supposedly he has 7 security guards with him, which, shit, he's a big deal. By the way, there was 3,000 people who showed up. 3,000 people showed up. The guy's a big deal. He has seven security guards. However, the security guards, they're not like Secret Service. So they're not thinking about a gunshot from a mile away. They're thinking some loon might run up and try to stab him. Or, they're thinking close range type of stuff, right? And that becomes the problem because this type of attack, this could have killed a rapper. This could kill anybody. Like, there's weapons these days. Shit, I got about like 30 of them upstairs that, like, if you fucking want to kill somebody, I shouldn't say that. That sounds crazy. Anyway, the point is there's so many weapons out here that if you want to kill somebody from 150 yards or 75 yards away, like a football field, 100 yards, you could absolutely do it. It doesn't take that much training. Like these guns nowadays and the scopes they got, if it's zeroed right, like it is easy. And I could see, like, this is an easy way how a lot of people could do crimes like this. And it becomes more and more kind of worrisome because unless you have Secret Service detail, you're not going to be doing counter intel for snipers. And niggas is using their snipers or heavy or their fucking guns that could shoot from a long range, and they're shooting people with it now. This is like the new form of terrorism. I don't think they'll let these little bum-ass niggas get on the planes no more and take over the planes and fly into buildings. I think the new form of terrorism is, oh, everybody's watching, all eyes on you. And I've seen a lot of like political pundits, whether it was the was it Cuomo or PBD. I've seen Bill O'Reilly speak about this. I've seen even Myron Gaines speak about it because he does a lot of public stuff too. They're all kind of like on edge a bit because they're realizing that people are radicalizing their disagreement with them and they might take their lives. I will say though, since I think their care is because it's happening in their world. I will say this, I think streamers should look at this and think about that appropriately as well. There's too many streamers who are doing IRLs who are insanely popular, and you have to start thinking about this. There might be one loon that doesn't like you or want to make a name, and I think this is a lesson that we all got to learn because, shit, I know some people who care about gun control, they're going to be like, well, it's the gun, and oh, no, he got what he whatever, because he talked about gun violence and he defended guns, but I think it's way bigger than that.
Identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right. After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence. Good. You want to go to the stills? So here's the still photographs I mentioned. These have been enhanced. So these are slightly different than what we introduced earlier. Please pay close attention to the T-shirt.
Wow, he looks pretty young. Wow, no facial hair from what I'm seeing. It looked like this is a type of an American flag type of T-shirt. Black clothing, has a hat. Maybe he's been there before because, he clearly knows there's a camera or some recording device. He's keeping his head down and away. Huh?
Like I said, very distinctive with that American flag and that eagle. The hat with the triangle and the sunglasses. If you'll go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this suspect.
By the way, ironically, because he's on campus, it makes sense for him to have a backpack. Now, I'm still wondering about the rifle. Is it one of those foldable shits? Like what the fuck? Like, a rifle can't fit no back. Where the fuck is the gun? You know?
Suspect.
Look like this is him walking up the stairs, right? Up.
Next picture. And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo, and again, the t-shirt. Blue jeans, and you get a good look at those Converse tennis shoes as well. We have pushed these out. We'll continue to push these out, and we just ask for the public's cooperation through the public. The tips that have been coming in are what are giving us our next leads and enabling us to continue to further this investigation. We've had great cooperation from the public, and we're continuing to ask for that as we move forward. Thank you, and I'll turn the time back over to Governor Cox.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mason. I want to thank Director Patel and his team. It's great to have them on the ground with us tonight. We've had several briefings, and he's had an opportunity to walk the crime scene. We appreciate our local law enforcement here. Again, we have working hand in hand with the state and with the FBI as we move forward with this investigation. Now, I'll just give you a little warning. We will not be taking any questions at this time. We're giving you the latest information we have, being as transparent with everything that we have. But I do want to share a couple things that I think are important. We cannot do our job without the public's help right now. The public has answered our call for action. So far, we've received more than 7,000 leads and tips. I would just note that the FBI hasn't received this many digital media tips from the public since the Boston Marathon bombing. This case also highlights the dedication of our law enforcement community. We have 20 federal, state.
Damn. So that Luigi Mangione nigga who was like out the winds for a while, looked like people didn't give a fuck that much.
Local law enforcement partners that are working shoulder to shoulder to find the person who committed this horrific crime. With their support, we've completed nearly 200 interviews. As you're aware, as has already been reported, the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to the identification and arrest of the person responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk. We also continue to implore the public to support this investigation and come forward with any information. We are truly hopeful that this video and new photos will lead to even more tips. We are processing. We have an incredible team, a state and federal team working together to process those tips. We are going out in tandem to interview any potential person of interest or suspects. But we need, again, we need as much help as we can possibly get. Any videos or photos that you might have, the public, should be submitted to our digital media tip line, which is www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. Again, that is fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. You can also provide general tips about the shooting by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI, or at tips.fbi.gov. This is, I would just say, this is not just a local matter here in Utah. We have people all over the country that are helping to bring this perpetrator to justice for Charlie Kirk and his family. I will just add as well that, as was mentioned, there is a lot of forensic evidence that is being processed right now at both the state lab and the federal labs, federal lab on the East Coast. So we are working in tandem together. I would also just add a word of note for those people who are spending so much time on social media. I think Charlie said it best, that when things get bad, we should put our phones down and spend a little time with our families. There is a tremendous amount of disinformation. We are tracking our our team, the state team, and I'm sure the federal team as well, what we're seeing is our adversaries want violence. China, we have bots from Russia, China, all over the world that are trying to instill disinformation and encourage violence. I would encourage you to ignore those, to turn off those streams, and to spend a little more time with our families. We desperately need some healing. We'll have more to say about that in the days and weeks to come. More than anything, we are going to catch this person. Last thing I will just say is we've been working with our attorneys, getting everything that we need, affidavits ready, so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case, and that will happen here in the state of Utah. Again, to the public, to those who are grieving, thank you for your prayers. I know we are feeling those prayers. I know the Kirk family is feeling those prayers as well. We pray that God will bless our nation at this very dark time. We can start healing by finding this perpetrator and holding him.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if you care to hear my thoughts on this, but yeah, I'm not gonna be in agreement that in the United States somebody should die over their political views. So I thought this was really heinous. And again, just remember, man, I see some people celebrating it. Everybody got guns. So I know y'all are happy. If y'all are celebrating when Charlie Kirk gets clapped, what happened when the nigga you like get clapped? So again, I don't think we should celebrate this violence at all. Like, if you didn't agree with him, you didn't like what he said something that offended you, I don't think the way to, react to clearly an act of terror. This is an act of, they're trying to terrorize and scare people. Like, that's the only reason why it's for. If this person the dude announced that he was going on a college tour or going on a tour to speak. This person had months to plan, knew exactly where it was going to be, did probably surveillance and got some intel on how he could execute this. If this person wanted to just kill him, he could have killed the nigga while he's going to get coffee in the morning when he doesn't have security. I'm pretty sure there's times Charlie Kirk is way more accessible. But this person wanted to kill him in front of 3,000 people when every camera was on and there was a microphone in front of him. Why? Because he's trying to send a message. So that's the thing that when you look at that, I think this is a new form of what terrorism is. They make it so difficult now that niggas can't take over the planes. So how are they going to terrorize people? Well, they used to do bombings. Now I think they're like, you know what? We're going to kill the people that matter because y'all care about certain people more than others, right? So, I don't really have an opinion about people who feel whatever way about his death. I'm just telling you how I feel. I think it was horrible. And, yeah, we can move on from there. Somebody said this was staged. Bro, y'all got to stop with the stage stuff. Y'all got to stop with the stage stuff. Now, the ironic part of him getting... So, right when he picked up the mic, I don't want to describe it too much, but when he picked up the mic, he was talking about, I believe, gang violence or some type of violence or gun violence or mass shootings or something like that. And he got shot right that moment. So, I don't even know if the guy was like... The killer was like, oh, okay, you talking about that? Nigga, hold this. But, I've seen many of his... I seen this start circulating because some people's empathy only come from, did this person talk about us or talk nicely to us? And I seen supposedly he had something that he talked about black women.
Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
Now, that is...
I rise today and...
Now, that is people well, I never listened to the clip before now. That is people taking that clip as, yo, dog, you're saying black people or black women don't have the brain power to succeed? I didn't take it as that. I took it as is he talking about Kamala or he's talking about one particular black person? He was just like, think they're fucking stupid. But of course, clearly he's a white man, so when, it probably has a lot more built in. But
as a clear recipient of affirmative action, particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color.
Oh, you're talking about her?
But I can declare that I did not graduate on affirmative action. This is my personal story.
I hear because of action affirmative. She can't even say that. We know. It's very obvious to us that you were not smart enough to be able to get in on your own. I couldn't make it on my own, so I needed to take opportunity.
See, this isn't correct. Did he say black women don't have the brain processing power? I don't remember him saying
affirmative action, particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color. But I can declare that I did not graduate on affirmative action. This is my personal story.
Give me 1 second.
I hear because of action affirmative. She can't even say that. Michelle Obama or Ketanji Brown Jackson. They think this is of course why we need affirmative action, because you have impressed us with your brilliance. Of course. Oh no, imagine the world without Joy Reid. Imagine the world without Sheila Jackson Lee or Michelle Obama or Ketanji Brown Jackson. They think this is persuasive. They think as they kind of now reveal that I'm only here because of anti-white, anti-Asian forced discrimination policies. That turned me into a bitter, resentful activist because we know.
All right. Give me 1 second.
We're going to go to that press conference we've been awaiting. FBI.
The FBI has just released.
Right, give me 1 second. I got to take a piss. All right. My man Jesse Owens.
This photo of a person of interest in connection with the horrific killing of Charlie Kirk from yesterday. And this comes as they provided new updates and evidence today as they race to find this assassin. The conservative influencer was in the middle of debating a member of the public during an outdoor event at Utah Valley University when a single bullet ripped through his neck. Chaos, confusion, a shot that has been heard around the world. We are going to break down what we just heard with former FBI and CIA agent Tracy Walder. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Charlie Kirk, the co-founder of Turning Point USA, a stalwart friend to some of the most well-positioned people in our government, and yes, a controversial online presence with millions of followers, is dead at the age of 31. This is a dark day for our country. I talked about this on social media yesterday. I'm going to say it again. We cover some of the worst evils in this country almost daily, and I was still sickened and shocked and disgusted by what I saw yesterday. And I just tell everybody out there, please think about and pray for Charlie Kirk's family and friends, because they are now left with the new reality of pain and loss and confusion that victims' family members deal with every day in this country. This married father of two, he is credited with rallying young Republican voters during the 2024 presidential election. He had this famous debate-style events at colleges around the country, drawing praise from some, criticism from others, and this was his final one. It was during one of those college events on Wednesday that Kirk was shot and killed. And again, we are about to get into what the FBI just said. but it appears, based on their comments, that this may be a lone gunman who was atop a roof near the heart of Utah Valley University's campus in Orem. And we are learning, again, new details about that shooter right now from public safety officials and the FBI. We're going to show you the brand new press footage, and I'm going to be bringing on former FBI and CIA agent Tracy Walder to break down what these new developments mean, the potential evidence, how they're going to analyze it. Are we closer to actually catching the suspected shooter? We'll talk about it. But here's what we know. You had event goers who were lined up in an outdoor area to ask this conservative activist questions about things like gun violence and gender identity. And Kirk has this often, these answers that are booming over a microphone at the Quad. There's a lot of political excitement there. But again, controversial figure. And the New York Times reports that 3,000 people had turned out to see Kirk speak as he started another round of college tours. This one was called the American Comeback. Now, Kirk was seated underneath a canopy. He was surrounded by these metal barricades with his own personal security nearby. We can have a separate...
Another thing, too, though... I know comedians have like blackballed colleges, a lot of them, because colleges these days are the most woke places. I want to say this: there's a lot of and I'm praying for my man Myron because he does this too. This whole thing of y'all niggas with extreme opinions showing up to college campuses, talking about come debate with me and prove me wrong. It's clear some of these niggas don't want to debate with you. They want you dead. So I do want to implore a lot of these people, you can have whatever opinion you have. You could have whatever ideology, but showing up to places that are usually not the most friendly with the opinions you may have. Most colleges are on some extra woke shit. If you're the conservative or the guy who's spouting some extreme shit, maybe not go to where the most intolerable places of that is. Again, not blaming it on him, but I do want to, I'm noticing a trend. I like these outdoor events. I watch them. They're highly entertaining. However, y'all are also going in the lion's den. Y'all are going to the places where people vehemently disagree with you a lot of times. And, you're hoping that at worst is just a bunch of loonies that just get shooed off. But clearly, as you could tell, not this time.
Conversation, and maybe we will, about potentially the lack of security. But as seen in videos that were posted to social media, a member of the public standing just a few feet away was questioning Kirk about recent gun violence in America.
So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Whoa. He gets shot right at this moment. They better not show that.
Any?
Oh, okay. No, that's before he got shot. That's before he got shot, my bad. So he did answer the question. What the fuck? How did that happen? Oh.
It's 5. Okay, now 5 is a lot, right? I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Okay, right here's where he got shot. I don't think they're gonna show it, but let me just take it off the screen just in case.
And at that moment, there was the sound of a single gunshot, and Charlie Kirk fell. If you've seen the videos online, they are awful. We have seen this video. It was taken by people in the crowd. It shows the moment that a bullet literally tore through Kirk's neck, sending him sprawling to the ground. It is horrific. He was carried to a nearby vehicle. He was rushed to the hospital. It was only a few miles away, but he was pronounced dead. And Utah officials would later say that they believed that this was a targeted attack, one bullet, one victim. Now, people at the event, they scattered in all directions. They were screaming. They were falling over one another. They were trying to figure out where the shots were coming from and if more bullets would be fired. The shooter was reportedly on the roof of a nearby campus building, the Losi Center. It's about 150 to 200 yards away from the gathering on the Quad. And an unverified video that was posted to social media, it appears to show a person laying down on top of the building. Now, law enforcement has not confirmed this video, nor have they said this figure on the roof is the shooter, but let's talk about what they did say, okay? This is new. So Utah's Commissioner of Public Safety and the FBI special agent in charge of the investigation provided brand new updates Thursday morning about the gunman. And that is what we want to talk about right now. So what have they learned about him so far? How was he able to get away? Take a look.
Through all that work last night, we were able to make a few breakthroughs. We were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., the subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood. Our investigators have worked through those neighborhoods, contacting anybody they can with doorbell cameras, witnesses, and have thoroughly worked through those communities, trying to identify any leads. We do have good video footage of this individual. We are not going to release that at this time. We are working through some technologies and some ways to identify this individual. If we are unsuccessful, we will reach out to you as the media and we will push that publicly to help us identify them. But we are confident in our abilities right now, and we would like to move forward in a manner that keeps everyone safe and moves this process appropriately.
And the FBI also revealed they found the suspected murder weapon.
This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. So the FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis. Now, I understand there are a lot of questions about motive. I assure you that all leads, tips are being fully investigated. As of this morning, we have received more than 130 tips. We thank the community for that. The FBI has brought every resource to bear, and we will continue to do so throughout the course of this investigation.
Also, this is just coming out from the Wall Street Journal. They're reporting that the ammunition that was used by Charlie Kirk's killer, it may have been engraved with transgender and anti-fascist ideology. If that is true, that makes a potential motivation for this killing a lot more clear, but we will see. We'll get more updates on that. Now, while officials aren't releasing very many details about the shooter's identity, they implied that he was able to blend in with a crowd on a college campus.
So what I'll release about the suspect is the suspect blended in well with a college institution. We're not releasing many details right now, and we will soon. But right now we're not. But that individual appears to be of college age. We are confident in our abilities to track that individual. If we're unsuccessful in identifying them immediately.
It's very, very interesting. And the Public Safety Commissioner also pointed out the importance of today's date, right, for American history, September 11th, and how law enforcement is once again coming together with one goal.
Historically, on 9/11, law enforcement has come together as a group to recognize and honor those that sacrificed to preserve the ideals of this country, the freedoms of this country. And instead, we find ourselves today hunting a murderer who chose to violate our rights, the rights of an individual within this country.
Now, again, I'm going to bring on Tracy. We're going to talk about what all this means. But the
for truth and freedom, and there's
Big
Point
Trump.
USA's headquarters out in Arizona. President Donald Trump, who was one of the first people to confirm that Kirk had indeed died, spoke from the Oval Office Wednesday night.
Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. My administration will find each and every one.
I know some of y'all like want me to, say. Let me tell you this, man. Like, at the end of the day, nigga, it's allergies got my eyes. I'm rubbing my eyes because of that. Fuck. Why do I have allergies? Was I playing with the dog? I think maybe it was me building today. I don't know. Every time I build, anyway, what? Wait, who the fuck is this? Give me a second. Oh, yeah, yo, chat. Let me tell you this, man. When it comes to hip hop, I don't think nobody gets more death threats than me, and this is why I could empathize and also see what it is. It's like there's chat. I know y'all might be watching me and y'all love me, bro. There's niggas. I promise you, I get no less than 100 death threats every day. I swear. Bro, when any rapper dies, there's 2,000 comments. Man, I just wish it was Ak. I'm telling you. So I understand when people hate you that bad, they want you to die. I understand it. I don't know this nigga, this Charlie Kirk nigga. He probably is a decent people to some people. Some people dislike him. For what? So my stance on it is going to be, I'm not going to sit here and celebrate this guy dying unless he did something to somebody. Because if I was that person to do that, I'd be the person to celebrate everybody dying. You know what I mean? So, pray for him and his family. But for some people who wonder, like, yo, all right, are you like, does this mean you believe everything he said? I ain't gonna lie to you. I just started watching him today. He must have hit a nerve. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm mad honest. I started watching the nigga today. I was building my shit. I just put him on the speaker because I now want to hear what he been saying. When niggas want to kill you, you're saying some stuff that is either offensive, you're saying some stuff that trigger them. And also I'm wondering, damn, 3,000 people loved him enough to come out to his not concert, but his talk. But clearly one nigga was there, wanted him dead. Let me hear what the shit he was talking about. I listened to about like half an hour. Seems like a logical guy, you know what I mean? He's a good debater. He's a good debater. Actually, no, Actually, I've listened to him before. Didn't he debate with Destiny? Charlie Kirk. He did debate with Destiny, right?
I just got Kirk! Yeah, I just got escorted from Kirk, baby!
We're in Tampa, Florida for Turning Point USA's annual Student Action Summit. TPUSA is a voter-driving juggernaut for the Republican Party, led by 31-year-old Charlie Kirk.
They're happy. That's why, they haven't been on social media.
But this year's event will be menaced by something called the Un-F America Tour, started by a group of progressive influencers and organizers, including the massively popular streamer Destiny.
This is the all roads lead to Rome thing, right? So he can do the exact same behavior you said that Biden couldn't get away with doing.
They want to bring progressive debate to Kirk's doorstep. But first, they have to get in.
So Turning Point has cancelled all of Un-F America's credentials, and now they're trying to sneak in Destiny so he can debate inside here. Alright, he's in. So Destiny has made a...
I thought they had a debate. I watched this Charlie Kirk nigga debate one time. He was brilliant. Who did he debate? Oh, I think he debated Hassan Piker, didn't he? I think he wrecked him. Yeah.
Did he say?
Oh, this is the first time I seen Charlie Kirk. He bodied Hassan.
You think?
He bodied that nigga Hassan. They did a debate. Holy shit. Oh, okay. Yeah, he bodied that nigga Hassan, bro. Gave that nigga the beats. It was this right here.
Okay.
I practice what I preach.
Charlie. Trying to attack me, which is ridiculous, like asking me what my salary is. Sure, I'll reveal it willingly.
You brought it up in context. I'm asking, why don't you live like a socialist?
Okay.
Go live like a
The point
socialist.
is larger. The point is...
Inside the building, and we'll see how long he lasts.
Because the shops are going this way?
There's a major streamer named Destiny, who's a Democratic liberal streamer. He appears to be debating Myron Gaines, who's more of a right-wing red pill guy. They're both sort of creatures of like internet trolldom, but it should be a lot of fun. You know, it's like blood sports. It's like watching a cockfight, effectively.
We love to see it, though.
We love to see it. It's great.
We are at Student Action Summit. We got Destiny and Myron here today. Have a little friendly conversation.
Oh, yeah, man. Good to see you, bro.
Young people may be tuning out the news, but this new form of live, provocative political debate is blowing up online. Its cultural significance is something well known to Kirk because he's part of it.
Oh, it's democratic socialism. It's completely
I love
different.
this question. I love this
and whatnot.
question.
And I like it's.
I could talk about socialism for hours.
Hello, everyone. I am Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, and I am surrounded by 20 woke college kids.
Under a tent with the words "Prove me wrong," Kirk brought online debater culture directly to hundreds of college campuses during the last election cycle.
We have a problem in Black America. The biggest problem is not racism, it's the lack of dads. When exactly do heart waves begin in utero?
You know that, but you don't know the force.
Hold on, no, so tell me when heartbeat.
I don't know.
And while he uses it to make viral content, its primary goal is to register Gen Z to vote MAGA.
I love the fact that we are now becoming we're becoming the cool kids now.
Hey, chat, this is what I keep telling y'all. I know some of y'all don't like Trump or y'all don't like that ideology. If y'all are right, and these MAGA people are as bad as y'all think, it's only so long they're gonna allow their own to be shot at before they start doing the shooting. That's all I'm trying to say. So if you with the violence, stay with the violence. Because when niggas start getting clipped on the other side, it is what it is. That's how war is. But if you know you finna cry if your nigga get killed, you shouldn't be celebrating now. Okay? This is how it happens. The niggas who in Chirac who be smoking on the packs, they understand they mans got killed too. Right now, they try to kill Trump and they got this guy. When bullets start flying on the other side, just make sure y'all got to keep the same energy and be like, man, rest in peace, my nigga, but we gonna slide. If that's where you on, let it rock. I don't care. Let it rock. But there's a lot of y'all who think that only Democrats got guns. Not saying a Democrat killed them. The other side y'all been saying is bad, they're the gun people. So when they want to get crazy, don't say nothing. Just remember that.
But no, I just want to be clear. Is there something wrong with talking to voters?
No, there's nothing wrong with talking.
Well, that's what we're doing
He
here.
says they've been shooting. Okay, I'll give you that. They haven't been shooting at rallies. God forbid somebody try to, I won't even name any names, but you know the political people we love that they're liberal. Imagine somebody shoot them. Again, ain't one side allowed to have guns. Everybody allowed to have guns. So when you celebrate him getting clipped, and then when somebody we love get clipped, you gonna have to say, all right, but at least we up on the scope. That's how you gotta keep it. If y'all with the violence, just remember, there's always get back. So when a nigga says, I bet, who y'all like? Oh, that nigga? He the first what? I bet. Let's see. It's movie time.
Oh, it's movie time.
Y'all niggas gotta accept it. This when we start celebrating this says to the young little MAGA kid who is tight because Kirk was his hero and blah blah. Now he go take up a gun and go clap somebody on the other side. You gonna have to say, I bet, but we still up on the scope. It is what it is. Anybody who is cool with this nigga getting clipped, just be ready for the get back if it happens. If you're not willing to accept that they might clap somebody you like, one of our heroes, You shouldn't celebrate this. This is the gruesome aspects of war. And we like civilized world. So let's stay out of celebrating this when it comes to political people, because it could happen to somebody else.
Today, it's an open
I
mic.
think that you push a dangerous agenda.
It's a strategy that those behind UNF America say the DNC has been absent to counter.
I hate Charlie Kirk. I think he's actually a Satan spawn, but he's very, very strategically minded.
At an event organised by the UNF America crew down the street from the convention centre, both conservatives and liberals packed into a pub to eat chicken wings, drink beer, and watch conservative voices try to take on Destiny.
Have you ever fired an AR-15?
Yep.
So you fired 5.56. The mathematical odds of him surviving that are infinitesimal.
By the way, this came out 8/7, a month before. So this is not after he died. 8/7. By the way, and I'll say this. Charlie Kirk's a pro-gun guy. I know he got killed by a gun. I know some people feel like that's like the irony and the funny part. That's not the funny part. The nigga believed in gun rights. Usually people who believe in gun rights has the mindset of saying, if someone wants you dead, you're going to die. Whether they use a gun, a knife, whether they drop a bomb, whether they do whatever. So usually having the mindset to believe in the right to bear arms doesn't change or isn't ironic to the people, even if they lose their life at the hand of gun violence. It is what it is.
They're infinitesimally high if it misses him or grazes his ear. I mean, Charlie Kirk's been doing this a long time, more than 10 years. Why has it taken the left so long to catch up and still hasn't caught up?
Republicans vertically are very well integrated when it comes to making sure that they're winning elections.
Yeah.
Right? There's the people who in 2020 they thought the election was stolen in every state basically, but they still showed up to vote next time. So something is happening there where they're really big on going out and winning elections. And I think that shows at every single level, to where when people are organizing or when people are creating alternative media networks, whether you're talking Tim Pool, influencing other ones like Joe Rogan, or trying to do things with college kids like Charlie Kirk, they're making these events and they're gathering all these different people. For Charlie Kirk, it's school kids, but the single focus is winning elections. It's incredibly important. And somehow I feel like on the left, I don't know how this happened online. Maybe it's because we tend to be younger or whatever, but somehow the party's messaging apparatus, it feels like it's gotten hijacked from people by people who won't vote for your candidates, which I think is incredibly destructive.
Did the Democrats have anything like this?
Nothing. And I will say, like, Charlie Kirk is honestly one of the best organizers of our generation. And I think that, you know, as much as I disagree with Charlie Kirk, I believe that what he's doing has worked. And that's why I'm here to replicate what he's doing. I'm not here to, you know, disrupt Charlie Kirk's events. I'm here to say that there are alternative ideas and that we need to build the same thing that he has, because he is good at it.
Z. Cohen Sanchez has worked more than a decade on Democratic campaigns.
There's no reason why we can't do this. This is not very expensive to do. We have so many PACs on the Democratic side raising millions of dollars, right? We are not a big PAC. We haven't even raised $1 million yet. And we're able to get all of these creators essentially anywhere that Charlie is. And so that's what we really want the Democratic Party to do, is we want to have them to start investing in these movements.
Is the DNC supporting this?
No, not currently.
Why not?
If Ken Martin's watching this, text me back. But really, I mean, I think it's disappointing that we haven't been able to see the DNC really get off the ground since the election, because I think a lot of things have happened internally that have been distractions to the actual ground game that we need right now.
No, our motto is, when they go low, we go high.
For Destiny, it's a ground game that must reflect the online culture he and millions of young Americans are part of, one that is often characterized by un-PC language, insults, and crude humor, like this tweet Destiny sent poking conservatives by saying the kids who died in the Texas floods were proof that God doesn't exist.
The tweets you sent about the kids in Texas would probably disqualify you, or would probably have somebody in the upper levels of the Democratic Party say, okay, we'll never work with this guy again.
Yeah.
Do you regret sending those tweets?
I think they have to get over it. I don't regret them. I love poking the bear on the right. I feel like Republicans are so good at owning the space. Republicans do this thing where they say, you know, comedy's legal again and we can joke about anything. But when they say anything, they really just mean like immigrants and black people, right? Because if you make fun of anything on their side, they lose their minds.
I guess is your point that, always trying to take the high ground is clearly not working for Democrats?
One of the things that conservatives stumbled into accidentally, because I think Donald Trump's an idiot, even politically, but they stumbled into this thing where people started to get confused because of what
It's a minute left, chat. We're going to move on.
The right and left look like. And I think they think that you need an extremist platform in order to win elections. But what you really need, I think, is just extremist messaging. I think that's what you need.
Back inside, the packed event giving the Unf America organisers hope there will be appetite for similar debates on college campuses this fall.
I do 100 hours of this a semester. 100 hours. In addition to 2 hours of podcasting radio. I mean, the physical crowds are now 4,000 people almost every time we do this.
And so the plan for this semester is Charlie Kirk shows up at campuses all across the country, and you guys are going to be there too.
That's the goal. If we can raise enough money to get there, we.
Wow, so Charlie Kirk was a big deal.
One of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country.
And by the way, the president just announced that he is giving Charlie Kirk the Medal of Freedom posthumously. Tributes have also poured in on social media. Political advisor Stephen Miller posted on X, "Our hearts are shattered. America has lost one of its greatest champions. A loving family has lost the most extraordinary husband and father. All of us must now dedicate ourselves to defeating the evil that stole Charlie from this world." Again, FBI Director Kash Patel, who was close with Kirk, wrote on his personal X account, "Rest in peace, my friend, conservative titan Charlie Kirk. I am praying for Charlie and his family. His passion for American and fearless leadership inspired millions, and his impact will live on in this movement for generations." Former President Barack Obama posted on X, "We don't yet know what motivated the person who shot and killed Charlie Kirk, but this kind of despicable violence has no place in our democracy. Michelle and I will be praying for Charlie's family tonight, especially his wife Erica and their 2 young children." And as people were fleeing the school, armed law enforcement officers, they were pouring in. They were going from building to building to help escort people to safety. And just before 9 p.m. Eastern Time, school officials gave the all clear, saying there is no ongoing threat to the campus. Utah Valley University announced that classes were canceled, that the school will be closed until at least Monday. You know, we've been on top of this story from the very, very beginning. And we're able to do that, by the way, because of our sponsor, Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, a firm with over 1,000. What we heard here from this presser, they were able to track the movements of the shooter, saying that the shooter arrived on campus at 11:52, tracking the movements through the stairwell to the roof. They find the shooting location, saying the shooter jumped off the building after the shooting, fled into the neighborhood, that they start canvassing the neighborhood, looking for doorbell footage, contacting anyone that has footage. They have confirmed they have video footage of the shooter, but they are not going to release it, and they are working on ways to ID this person. Before we go any further into the revelations from this press conference, let's start there. What do you make of that police work, and what can we glean from that?
Well, thank you so much for having me. Obviously, it's relatively quick police work, in my opinion. I said yesterday that this was going to be a bit of a cumbersome.
All right, I don't want to drag this. You guys can think what you want, and I'll offer condolences to his family. All right. I think some of the things that people don't rock with him about, I think he had multiple debates where, the George Floyd thing was a thing for him. Charlie Kirk, George Floyd. Yeah, I'm going to show you the good, bad, and ugly about him. By the way, let me show you his family first. I'm not here to have you make up your mind either way. Charlie Kirk family. This is them. His wife, 2 kids. His 2 kids are pretty young. That's his wife. But yeah, people weren't that happy about certain things, especially when it came to his thoughts about George Floyd. Here we go.
In 2020, with the George Floyd protests,
Riots.
Riots or protests, depends.
Were they riots or protests?
All right, well, we disagree on that, but to get to my point,
sure.
to get to my point,
were they mostly peaceful?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, I think this is the one right here.
I saw a clip somewhere that you were trying to get the officer who murdered George Floyd pardoned, and I just want to know
Yes,
what your
ma'am.
reasoning was about that.
Well, George Floyd didn't die because of the police officer. He died largely because of a drug overdose.
But he had his knee on his neck. And we
Yeah.
all saw the video.
But the knee on the neck is actually an approved police technique that police departments taught Derek Chauvin to use. Do you know that George Floyd was saying, "I couldn't breathe," well before that restraining technique? And
So why'd they use the technique if he already couldn't breathe?
Well, because he was actually resisting arrest, and they had to restrain him, and they restrained him in a way that they were taught to do, which is the knee on the neck technique.
Okay, so when does the like technique end? Like when they die? Like he said he couldn't
No,
breathe.
I mean the technique ends when the individual stops resisting arrest. His cause of death was not asphyxiation; it was drug overdose. He had
that was a part of it. Like he also had a heart like thing, and like he was on drugs. But like he wouldn't have just died if he was standing there. Like they had his.
Well,
their knee on
actually,
his
there's an
neck.
argument to be made. According to the medical examiner, he was drug overdosing in real time. That it wasn't because of the police officer, Derek Chauvin, that put his knee on the neck. And again, they were taught to do that. According to the Hennepin County Police Department, they teach that as an approved restraint technique. And by the way, this is just a broader point. Our whole country blew up because of this incident, and it was largely based on a lie. Largely based on a lie. We were all
What was the lie?
The lie is that there was a white police officer that went after a black person just because he was black, and it just wasn't true. He was resisting arrest.
Okay, but he killed him. Like that doesn't.
Well, again, the county medical examiner disagrees. The county medical examiner in the original report.
So then why did he get sentenced?
Exactly. That's a good
No, I'm
question.
saying-
It's because it was largely a show trial where actually they were not allowed to submit
what
evidence.
trial?
A show trial. A show trial is an example where you put people on display or a show for a political purpose or political means. And this is an example of that, where Derek Chauvin was not given a fair hearing in this trial. He was not even allowed to use the police training handbook in his trial to show that he was taught to use that restraining technique.
Okay, so what do you want to happen to Derek Chauvin? Like,
Pardon.
so he's just free? What is that?
Yes.
What message does that send to like?
It should be. It's a message that you should get an actual fair trial and that you're not going to get a trial by media.
Are you actually going to let me talk for longer than 5 seconds?
Go ahead.
You keep interrupting me. Every time I actually try to... Every time I try to actually explain my
Are these Make America Great hats back here?
point and have a reasonable conversation with you, you cut me off. I was trying to explain, you cut me off, started talking about something completely different. You started bringing up random stats and random facts to try to make me look stupid.
Nice outfit.
Thank you.
What's on your mind?
What is your fursona?
I
So fursona is like, what animal really speaks to you? No. I need this for an argument. Please, come on, man. Come on, man.
I got a good answer, guys.
Okay. What is it? I gotta know.
It's the beaver.
Okay. All right. Thank you, man.
Okay. All right. So apparently he had a movement going on, but he is now dead. All right.